Okay, welcome to KENPO Karate for Beginners Lesson 3. In this lesson we're going to teach is a Parry Block. I'm going to start with that. In the Parry Block, you can hold your hand up like this, come across the body, hit it with the palm. It's similar to the inward block. Let's do this from a horse stance here. So you get in the horse stance, here you go, lift up the hand, you come across and hit it with the palm and then rake the knife hand across. So from here, this block is faster than a hard block. Sometimes it's just really quick. If I'm in the fighting stance, it's real quick. I don't have to wind up. I'm just right there. Just tip it right off to the side. It's not for power striking to the arm, but I do like to twist that in so I get a little bit of strike to the arm also. So let's go to the other hand. Pick up the hand, come across, and then turn it, hit it with the palm, and then raking the knife hand across. Pick it up. That's the Parry Block. The next block we're going to teach is a knife hand block. The knife hand block comes out like the chop, but with the hand bent upwards. This way, if like someone's throwing a punch at you, you can hit it out like that. If they're going to push you, you can do both hands. We will have techniques to do that. Now from here, the horse stance. Pick up the hand like this, come out like an outward block, but with the hand bent, hit it with the knife hand. That's the knife hand block. This block is very useful also in the KENPO, especially against pushes. So it pushes you, boom, and then you can set up and do your strikes. Next thing we're going to do is a blocking drill. We're going to do this from a fighting stance. So the drill here, we're in a fighting stance, hands are here. We're going to go with the upper block, go to the inward block, the outward block, the downward block, then we can step up, do the other hand, upper block. In, out, down, you can step right back, do it again, up, in, out, down, up, in, out, down, step back, up, in, out, down. You can do that back and forth. This way you can learn how to step in this up, step back, and you can start it all the way if you want. So you get the same effect off of both. This is a good drill. It's teaching you to block multiple strikes at once. Teaching you to move in, teaching you to move back, and still blocking either way you go. Alright, next thing I'm going to show is called the wheel kick. It's also known as a roundhouse kick. Alright, now I'm going to start it from the front leg, then I'm going to teach you off the back leg. So from the fighting stance, from here, you're going to lift up the knee, turn the foot, so it's running sideways this way. The back foot, you're going to pivot it forward. You don't want to keep your foot this way. You want your heel to face more towards the front or to the corner. As you're here, knee bent, kick, bring it back. If you have that back leg bent, it's going to be easier to balance. If you're straight legged, it's really hard to balance, and plus it takes a lot of wear and tear on your knees. So from here, knee up, pivot, kick, bring it back. You're striking it out, bringing it back, much like the front kick. But the weapon is different. Instead of being the ball of the foot, we're in the top right here, towards the ankle. That's called the instep. So we're coming in, instep strike. And if I'm more on a side stance, the side fight stance, I don't have to pivot, I don't have to turn the knee as much. I just lift it up and pivot the back foot. Let's go with the other leg. From here, the knee can come up, pivot, deliver the strike, bring it back. So from here, up, pivot, straighten out the leg, kick, and bring it back. So again, now from the back leg, we can take, it's the same thing, I call this travel time. So basically, I just have to bring the foot back here to this point here. That's the travel time. So here's the difference. I got my leg here, lift it, pivot. So it's the same thing as if I was here, lift, pivot. So again, up, pivot, kick, then you can bring it back, or you can sit your foot there, and then move back. Other leg, knee up, pivot, kick, bring it back. Up, pivot. Of course, doing it slower, it's harder to balance. If you just do it quick, it's a lot faster. I mean, it's a lot easier because it is faster. You're not balancing as long. Alright, next thing I want to show you is called the ridge hand. The ridge hand comes in right here inside. It's like a reverse chop. You could hit it with this knuckle here towards the finger, but there's risk at that. If you hit it with that, you might fracture your hand. One of the black belts we had, he worked for a phone company, and out on a job in a bad neighborhood, a guy went to rob him for his tools. He stepped back, ridge-handed guy right in the head, knocked the guy completely out. So he saved himself there, but then he broke his hand. So that's the risk of the ridge hand. So I like to throw the ridge hand with my wrist bone. Catching this is a lot harder. You're not going to break your wrist as easy as you are your hand. Your hand, as soon as you hit, it just puts a shock right through your whole hand. Some guys have tougher hands than others who might be able to get away with this, but my choice is hitting at the wrist bone. Now another thing about the ridge hand is when you hit your arm, if it's straight, your hand goes that way, your arm stays here, so what happens? You hyperextend your elbow. So you gotta make sure you bend your arm. So here I hit and start bending. So we're gonna take this from a horse stance first, hands up, come out, turn in. I throw it like I want to poke somebody with my hand, or throw a fist, and then I open it up and I change it in. That's the ridge hand. Other hand. Now from the fighting stance, the ridge hand could be front hand, back hand. Other way, front hand, back hand. The ridge hand comes not straight in, comes around your target. So if someone's standing here, you can hit them inside of the head. You can hit them in the body, in the rib even. So the ridge hand is a good weapon, but you gotta be careful. There's risk involved. Anytime you hit anybody, there's a risk of hurting yourself. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to teach is called the tiger claw. This is used in a lot of our self-defense techniques in Kenpo. So what you do is hit the wrist bone coming down, and the fingers come out like this. So it's almost like the palm strike, but this time I'm hitting with this part instead of this part. So right here, underneath the palm, right on the wrist. Hit downward motion, rake the fingers. This is how you come across somebody's nose like this and rake down. That's the tiger claw. So from a horse stance, get your hand up, claw, claw. So hit wrist, and fingers come down as you drag. Now this also could be done, grab, like hit here, so if someone's throwing a punch, you can hit their elbow, you can hit them in the head and rake across. So it has multiple purposes in different directions. So that is the tiger claw. The next thing we do is an eye spear and an outward block together. I'm going to do a little drill from a horse stance. From here, block it out, and then the poke comes in like this. When you're poking, you don't want your fingers straight. Bend your fingers here. You can do one finger, pinpoint it. I like to throw several fingers because, I throw 4 fingers out there, I'm bound to hit an eye. Something happens quick, you can hit something. So from here, block, spear, and these could be quick. Bam, tap them. It doesn't take much. If you ever watch like UFC or anything, in the big fires, they're beating the heck out of each other, beating themselves kind of bloody and just, it looks like they're murdering each other. But they're still fighting. And all of a sudden, you see one of them accidentally poke another one in the eye, that stops the fight. So then they had to stop the fight for that. That simple little poke. That's how quick and easy that is. Nice strike to save your life. So from here, you do the outward block, poke the eye, outward block, poke the eye. Now if I'm just standing here minding my business, someone's coming to attack me, say they got a gun on me even, I come outward block, poke the eye. But instead of just keeping it here, I turn this. This is called an extended outward block. Anytime you do the out and you turn it, that's an extended outward block. And that could be a grab now. This is your poke. So now you can do that out block, grab, poke. And this could be done with the palm. It could be done with a punch. There's a lot of things you could do with this. It's just a great movement. We use it a lot in the Kenpo. It's great to disarm, get someone when they got a weapon, take them out really quick. Alright, next thing I'm going to show is it's an inward block, the front kick, and then we do a back fist reverse punch. Alright, so someone's throwing right punch or left punch, it doesn't matter to me at this point. I'm going to block it, and I'm going to kick them. Now as they fall forward, I land a back fist to their head, turn, I punch them. So from here again, block in, front kick, step forward, back fist, I turn my hips, reverse punch. Now when you turn your hips like this is called a bow stance. Alright, the soft bow is where your heel is up, a hard bow is with the foot is down. I know I didn't mention that earlier, but now I'll mention it because it's important to know what it is too as you get into this stuff. This is a bow stance. So we're turning the hips forward, turning the leg, the front leg is bent, this leg is straight, soft bow, knee, heel is up, knee is bent, and it's paired up with the punch a lot. So here we go again, block kick, back fist, reverse punch. Other side, block in, front kick, back fist, reverse punch. Again, inward block, knee up, kick, put your foot down, back fist, turn, reverse punch. So that is Kenpo Karate for Beginners Lesson 3. Tune in for the next lesson.